So today I thought I would show you how to do a mortise lock, or how I do my mortise lock anyway. So I take the mortise lock out of the packet and just hold it against the door, and I mark where the face plate is and where the body of the lock is going to be. And then I mark where the keyhole is going to be, and also use a trigger punch to mark where the spindle goes through for the handle, and also for the turn snib lock. Then I measure for the center of the door, 20mm. It's a 40mm door. I mark it with a mortise gauge, as you saw there, and then I use a 19mm auger bit just to drill out for the lock body to go onto the edge of the door. The lock body is about 19mm thick, so I'm using an 18mm auger bit, so it's just a little bit skinnier. It's just to give me a little bit of margin for error there, just in case there's a bit of splintering on the edges and stuff. I want to make sure that we can get it in nice and tight without any mistakes happening that we can't manage. Then I've just got to hone out the inside of the hole that I've just drilled out of the side of the door. So just cutting all those bits where the holes overlap and stick into the center of the cavity. So just want to cut all of that out and just dig it out. So using my nice wide chisel there, just to help minimize any chance of slipping or anything. Having a nice broad plane going down the inside edge there just helps it to not twist around. And just dig it out with a small chisel and blow out the other loose stuff that's left behind. Yep, takes a bit of work just to dig all that out. Got to make sure it's as clean as possible. Makes it easier when you want to put the body in. Now I'm just drilling out the holes for the handles and the locks. That's it from the other side. So now I've got a jig that I've made. I might show you how I made that in another video. And that's just set just at the right measurements, so I can just router it out. So I set the depth of the router by plunging it down to the surface of the door first, and then I use the gauge and I pinch the faceplate of the mortise between the gauge and the stop underneath the gauge, and then I press it in, and that gives me the perfect depth. Just chisel out those corners. Now it's all ready to stick the lock in. Just need to blow out the last little bits. And it goes, tight like a tiger. Screwing in the lock. Once again using that trigger punch just to mark where the hole's going through to sandwich those handles together. Just drilling out the holes with a 10mm spade bit. Just tapping the spindle through there. Just gently finger tightening or rather just using my fingers just to get the thread going on each of those screws before I use the drill, just to make sure that I don't cross thread it. just measuring now and making sure it's parallel. The top, there's a little bit of room for wiggle, but you want to make sure it's as parallel as possible so it doesn't look crooked. And that is how you do a mortise lock. Hopefully that was helpful to some of you. See you again on the next video.